Hello and welcome. Wow, it's been a while since I've streamed and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh goodness, this is definitely going to get interesting. So, hello and welcome. We're going to be doing a little bit of armor standy doodads today. Just like a quick little tutorial and show off of stuff that like you can do with it, and maybe making a couple like little armor stand scenes or something a little later. Brain like panic, holy crap. A server I'm on is working on deciding what kind of data packs and stuff we want to add to the server, and I really, really, really want this data pack. So let's show you how awesome it is, eh? Okay. So here we are. Do forgive me, somebody started mowing right outside my apartment like as soon as I hit the like start streaming button. So yeah, so please forgive any weird noises you may or may not hear. So the armor stand book is just this little guy right here. There's the data pack can be gotten, here we go, at vanillatweaks.net if you want the older version of the book, but if you want the newer version of the book, you want to go to Mookie Tanuki's Curse Forge page and get it from there. Vanilla Tweaks only has the old version because there's like a conflict of stuff and doodads and other weird things that you don't really want to talk about. Fish Puck is the guy who originally came up with the whole armor stand book idea and first programmed it. Space Dev did a bunch of like modifications and improvements and made it so to work on Vanilla Tweaks. And Mookie Tanuki is the dude that is doing like all of the work on it right now. All these people, by the way, are back here too, if you want to, you know, go to their stuff and check them out. Vanilla Tweaks has a lot of other things that also are used with the data pack to make it better, like including mob heads and decorative heads and things like that that one can use, including this guy, who will sell mob heads. This is the Hermitcraft version of the Wandering Trades data pack, so I also have a handful of hermit heads that I can buy. But the main thing is the Wandering Trades from Vanilla Tweaks is these. These are mini blockheads, all designed by Grant or Stridey. I can't remember which one. I think Stridey did most of the skins for these things. Essentially, you need an emerald and whatever block you want the mini block to get to trade with the Wandering Trader. So let's see, I want purple coral. Nope. Nope. Okay. Here we go. Bubble coral. So I get a bubble coral block and a bunch of emeralds. And I say, I would like this, please. And you now have bubble coral blockheads, which are kind of nifty looking. And we can put them on an armor stand and decorate with them in general. They're mostly just used for decoration-y kind of things. A lot of people will use the blockheads as just general extra details, like little mini stone picks and bits of gravel and like just things like that. They do have things like redstone lamps and barrels that you can get as well, that are really fun to use in integrating into builds. Mini redstone lamps make really great like headlights if you're building like a car type item or thing, or they also do really like make really cool looking eyes in like big sculptures. So that's pretty much that. And you noticed how we could get hermit heads here. The Wandering Trader, if you get, I can't remember which one, but you can get a custom data pack that will add, if you're on a server, add the players from the server's heads into here. And if you want to get that custom data pack, you go to vanillatweaks.net /tools/wandering-trades. And somebody just liked me, but I can't tell who because it actually... Ah, thank you for the follow, Orang. Hey, Orang! Okay, where am I? Okay. Oh yeah. So if you go to this website, it will ask you to input the names of the players on your server. You can go straight from the whitelist or you can enter them individually. And it will make you a custom Wandering Trades data pack with all of your server's heads in it. This is really nice because then you'll be able to buy your server mates' heads this way so that you don't have to kill them to get their heads. It's a nice, easy way to do things. There's other ways to get mob heads. There is the More Mob Heads data pack at Vanilla Tweaks that will also give you mob heads when you kill mobs. So say, I'm going to be very, very mean. Maybe. You have a villager and come here. I'm sorry. Stop running away, please. This is for your own good or not. Holy crap. I am suddenly lagging like crazy. I have, there we go, which will give you villager mob heads. The data pack, this is not just for villagers, it will give you any mob head, not like 100% drop rate, it's just, the drop rate is dependent on the type of mob that you're killing. So, things like villagers have 100% drop rate, zombie villagers have 50% drop rate, and there's an entire document that you can check over on the Vanilla Tweaks Discord. They have a document with all of the drop rates for all of the mob head drops for the More Mob Heads data pack. Another handy data pack to have along with all of these is the I'm gonna write these down because I think that would might. Oh yeah, definitely war crimes there, Cotton. Just killing people for their heads. Wait, if we do get this data pack, I'm making a headhunters like thing where you guys all get like money for killing people for me. It'll be great. Okay, so the data packs you want are armor statues. I can type. You want more mob heads. Oh my goodness. Everybody gets to witness my absolutely horrible typing. And you want player head drops. I'm like apparently really like that shift key. Player head drops. Player head drops changes the player loot tables that you always drop your head when you die if you're killed by another player or yourself. Because if you go to player head drops, if you can do something like go to minecraft-heads.com. There you can download custom heads and put them on as skins, put them on yourself, heal yourself, and get custom heads that way as well. If you watch Hermitcraft, this is what Zombie Cleo will do quite a bit. You will see her like killing herself often in other people's chats and other things like that. What she's doing is getting custom heads for her armor stand builds. But you don't need custom heads. You can just put blocks on your armor stands and use those as funky heads. For instance, you can build like a little thing like this, and then you just be quiet while you try to do this so you can concentrate. remember if I did that, so let's do that again just to be safe. I always keep my armor stands visible until I am done positioning, usually, just so that I can, like, you know, see them better, get a little idea of where they are and such. It just makes it a little easier to position things when you can see what you're doing. And then you know, a couple more stands like that, and actually putting it so it's not floating. But you know, you can do stuff like that in general. Okay, that's actually going to really bother me, even though this is just like a thing. So hold on. There we go. And when you do that, when you do items in a armor stand like that, you actually have several different sizes that you have options for to make your items. You have the regular block size, you have full armor stand head, you have mini armor stand head, you have full armor stand hand, and mini armor stand hand. And that will give you a wide variety of different sizes of blocks for builds and decorations. Quick note, you notice that this is in a piece of glass instead of brass, because when a armor stand's hitbox, what's the button? You see how the mini stands, the eye line is in the middle of their body. When an armor stand's eye line is occluded by a full block like grass or any other full non-transparent block, it will become shaded. It will turn black. It's a Minecraft thing. It's not necessarily a glitch. It's like, you know, it's just if it's under a block, it gets shaded. If it's in a block, it turns black because it's flipping into a block. So you just have to be aware of that by either putting like glass, those kinds of things on glass, or partial blocks like slabs or stairs. Okay. On the head itself, like if you're using an actual block on the creature's head, this is like what you get for sizes. Player heads like this, you can also change their sizes a little bit via head or placed or mini block, or also in hand as well. Oh, changing the different side of the block. I can read. Holy crap. I'm looking on my phone to see chat because I only have one computer screen, just so you know. So that's why things are a little delayed. Yes, I can. You can, let's see. Let's put this here. You can have to give him arms. So what you do is, if it's on the head, what we need to do is change the way the head is facing. So what I would do is not open the barrel, please. Would be taking pose adjust and moving the head down. And I'm not using the wand for this because I wanted to save that for a little bit to show you guys later. And then simply positioning him once again, the stand once again, not opening the barrel. In fact, since I'm putting you here, let's rotate you a little bit. Like that. So you can adjust pretty much the rotation and placement of pretty much anything by adjusting the limbs or heads of the armor stands. Let's see. Other things you can use it for, the Armor Stand book has auto align presets, and these are pretty much what they look like. If you put a tool in an item frame and just plop it down, that's what it looks like. If you can make the item frame invisible, and that's what it looks like. You'll notice that it's kind of like closer down to the block now. Putting it in an Armor Stand's hand and doing the tool flat on surface, this is what it looks like. Using the tool rack function, you can get something cool like this, which is really like awesome for decorating. I'll show that in a little bit. Items are slightly different. You put an item in an item frame, and that's what it looks like. Making it invisible, once again, kind of puts it a little flatter in. Using it in the Armor Stand's hand and doing item flat on surface will make it like this. You notice it's a little more three-dimensional, and it's a little bigger. That's because some items are shrunk to fit into the item frames. I actually spun this so you could see them right next to each other and compare the sizes. Item on surface will put it upright as like a display. And then once again, putting a block in an Armor Stand's hand and doing block on surface will give you this kind of thing. So that would be essentially this or this function. And all those are automatic. They will automatically align everything just like that. You don't have to do anything but push the preset. Okay, let's show you this one because this one's kind of cool. Will it give it to me? Yes. Okay. So you have a tool rack is cool. So you have a wall and you need to put a tripwire hook. You put an Armor Stand in front of the wall near the tripwire hook. It has to be near the tripwire hook. It doesn't have to be directly behind it. The tripwire hook can be higher or lower. And I think it can also be like at least one more block away, but it's just easier just to do it like this for demonstration purposes. You have the tool rack, and it's like, oh no, where'd it go? It's turned into a tool rack, which means you can take any tool and just aim at the tool rack, aim at the little hook, and right click, and it will hang your tool. And then if you want the tool back, you just right hit and it will give you the tool back. It's totally interactable. You can keep doing stuff with it. And duping my axes. Do be aware that some items, it will hold any item, but some items will look weirder in it than others. Most of the tools hold normally because of the way the tools are held in your hand and in the Armor Stand's hand. So things that aren't necessarily tools that are held in the hand differently will look weird. For example. I gave myself the bundled data pack experimental feature in here too, just so we could look at that and see what it looks like, because it's really great for decorating and using on Armor Stands. So things like that will hang a bit funny, because when you're in your hand, this is how you hold it in your hand. You don't really hold it like a tool. So things will... Oh, button. Yeah, that's not the button I wanted. There we go. So that's kind of why things will hold weirdly. But you can experiment and still get pretty interesting effects with things being held. And if you're curious, you can't really interact with the Armor Stand. It's still there. There it is. I broke the tripwire hook, and therefore the Armor Stand no longer recognizes that it's being used. So this is what it looks like in order to hold everything. It's turned its back to you and has its hand all twisted up. So that's like a really simple and neat little feature that's actually like applicable for like just like utility, which is kind of cool. Yay, you can hear! Cotton can hear me. I don't know if that's like good or not. Another thing to keep in mind is like invisible item frames will adjust the way an item sits on the block that it is. You see that this guy's a little farther out than this guy, because it's like we have the item frame and then him. If you actually look at his pixels, they're all pretty near the same alignment, but the item frame is kind of pushing him out a little more. because he's on the quote on the item frame. When interacting with an armor stand, you do need to stand near it. You need to stand somewhere on or within this kind of line of blocks around an armor stand. So you got like 2 block leeway to be able to interact. See, I was too far out. This is what it does to me. Be able to interact with the armor stand. But if you're too far out, nothing will happen. So you do have to be aware that you need to be kind of like, you know, close to be able to get stuff to do. Let's see. When using the armor stand functions, we did like styles, like does a lot of stuff, you know, shows the base plate, shows the arms. You always need to show arms in order to hand it things. Small stand is a tiny stand. Applying gravity makes it so there's no longer checks for gravity, so it will hover. Stand visible versus invisible. Has visible fire is a fun one. And that's a new one. That's a new one that I actually haven't played with very much. So let's see what happens. Hey, I'm not vermin. So that's kind of cool. So that's pretty much like the styles. Nudging is nudging its position in space. You saw me do a little bit of that when placing these guys over here. Nudging goes by XY coordinates, XYZ coordinates. We're all familiar with those, right? Up here, XYZ coordinates mean world XYZ. So if you're facing north, this is what it is. Z, negative Z, positive Z, negative X, positive X. Positive Y, negative Y. So that's pretty intuitive, but you do have to be aware of which way you're facing while you're doing armor stand work. Which, okay, like, we know people get lost when running around the world, right? So, like, not everybody has the heads-up display right up in their upper right-hand corner or left-hand corner. So, another feature that one can use when nudging an armor stand around is relative. This is a relative to you. This assumes that you are always facing north. So, positive X, negative X is the same. It always assumes you're facing north, even if you're not actually facing north. So positive X, negative, positive is, stop that. Positive is to your right, negative is to your left. Positive Z, negative Z, positive is towards you, negative is away from you. Just like if you were standing right here, positive Z is towards you, negative is away from you. So no matter which way you're actually standing, like as if you were standing here, it will always go to the right or to the left or towards you or away from you. But this is relative aligned is aligned with the grid. That's what it means. It's relative to you and aligned to the grid. So it will always go within the grid. It will always stay on the XYZ axis. Relative exact is just that. It's exact. It's the same idea. You're to your left, to your left, to your right, and forward and back, but it's exact to your position. So it will move it diagonally if you're diagonal to the stand. And so forth. And it also depends on like where you're standing within the block. It's very like, this one is very, very finicky, but it's also very, very good for getting like half pixel increments of movement and positioning with your armor stands. Because you can also, just to be sure, do things like y-axis. See, now he is a little taller than me. So if I do a nudge away from me, he will move down ever so slightly as well. So I know that was hard to see, but it does happen. So it helps you get like fractional pixels for alignment difficulties with aligning with other builds and stuff, which is really awesome because then, like, you know, once you get it like the proper exact height, you can nudge it back normally and all that stuff. Another thing that we can do with the armor statue book is rotation. You can adjust the amount it rotates and tell it which direction to rotate in. So I want you to rotate 45 degrees in that direction. Whee! And it spins. Okay, now move back to that direction. Now I actually want you to do 5 degrees and rotate that way again. With a tiny, tiny little bit of rotation. This is handy for just like making sure it is facing, the stand is facing the way you want. I used it for positioning this one diagonally, that kind of thing. The rotation is also used. This bits of the oh goodness, hold on. The alarm's doing all sorts of weird things. Okay. So this part of the rotation is also used later on for the pose adjustments, and we'll get there in a second. Excuse me. Okay. Pointing, same with as part of rotation. Oh, also you can do towards and away you, which is just 180 degrees. So, oh crap, I placed the stand wrong. I actually needed it to be facing away from me, but I was facing this way. There we go. Now it's facing the right direction. It's a little hard to tell because it doesn't have the arms, so you don't know like which way it's showing. So here, have your arms. There we go. See, now he's facing that way. Other bits of rotation, pointing. This is like affects the rotation of, say, we'll move it 45 so it's really big. The way these guys are rotating towards the head or towards the feet. So if I want to move the head towards the feet, there we go. And this is always going to be like relative to you, so that's why it's like facing me instead of the other way around. But if I did over here and said move the body towards the feet, that's kind of weird. This one's a little fiddly and a little weird, so the best way I would suggest is just play around with it and see what it does. So, because, you know, hey, wait, hold on. Give that back. Okay. Give that back. Thank you. So you can do all sorts of like weird things. And get all sorts of weird contortion-y looking stuff going on. We'll talk about the wands. You see the pointer wand there. We'll talk about that in a little bit later. Oh goodness, what are you doing? Okay, alright. There we go. Sorry, my phone went to sleep and I couldn't see chat anymore. And that would be weird because then I can't respond to you. So then we have the presets. These are just preset statue positions, which are slightly easier to see if I give them arms. That just do things like attention is completely neutral pose. Everything is straight up and down. This is the good neutral pose starting position for any, like, if positioning of blocks in weird ways or anything like that, where you're going to be doing a lot of pose adjustment, always put it back, always put it into attention. But you can do other things, other presets. The presets are fun to play with, but I almost never use them like as is directly out of the box. I will almost always like do a little bit of adjustment just to make them every stand individual. These two down here, block and item, are for if they're holding a block, and it will position the block directly flat. That's really handy for, once again, doing things like these. If you don't want to put it exactly on the surface and do block on surface over here, you just do the block preset instead of the auto align, because auto align will align it with the ground or whatever surface you've placed the stand on. Block will just align it, you know, flat, and then you can move it around as you wish. Same for item. Here I have these in my hand. Item will do the same thing, but for items. It will position it directly up and down, which is handy for getting, like, for other things too, for getting like positional accuracy. Actually, hold on to that, because now we're going to go into pose adjust. Once again, we'll do the wand in a little bit. Head, body, arms, and legs. You can nudge them the same way you nudge the stand around. You can adjust their pose. This is what XYZ means. I know what you're saying. What? Mike, like, why weren't you? Stop going to sleep, phone. You were fine a little while ago. I don't know why you're being like all grumpy now. So, assuming the stand is facing you in a neutral position, the x-axis is pretty much following this circle. That means that if you want to move, make sure I'm on 45 so I get big movements, a leg up, it will move along this axis. And I will get a leg that just spins around in circles along that axis. All of these things, okay, I'm going to grab the wand for just a second because it will show you the joints. Show me the joints. So all of the axes, all of the bits move along their joints. That's what these little squares are the joints. So that's the axis that the arms and legs and head and body are moving around on. So the x-axis, anything x, is always going to be along this line. So this guy is just going to keep spinning his leg around and around and around. Until it gets back to its spot. Okay. Okay. Actually, like, it's my doodad is being very weird right now, so please forgive me. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, y-axis is kind of this way. So, anything adjusting the y-axis of something will actually, this will be easier with arms, I think. And moving it around in here. That's actually not the way I was expecting it to work, but oh, that's why. Okay, so you actually have to put it so it's out. So here, hold on. I'm so distracted that I'm forgetting to do things properly. Isn't that wonderful when that happens? So y-axis will move it. Oh my goodness. I'm getting so much weird lag. Did I actually do these like backwards? I think I did, because this is actually the Z. Or no. Y-axis is this one, and this one is Y. Guys, I'm tired. Hold on. I shall adjust because I can. Trust me, it was like this all along, I promise. See, this is the thing, is that like I've been ages since I played with this thing, and I was just like, yeah, that's the way it works, right? They match. Okay. So let's try this again. Y-axis will move around. Pay no attention to like the whole bunch of like crap I was just saying a few minutes ago. Y-axis will move around the its joints, its rotation point in this way. So this will spin around and around. Until it gets back to its normal spot. But when it is not in this position, if it's in like up and down like this, it will just kind of spin in place. I hit the pressing present. I'm having a day. Let's just say that. Okay. It will spin in place, essentially. Which is handy for some things. Some things, like if you have an understand with pants and you don't want to see the knees, because the pants do knees, then it will make the knees not knee-y. And Z, therefore, goes like this. So something just popped up on my screen and then went away. That was very weird. I hope nothing weird's happening anywhere. So Z will spin around and around its axis point until it gets back to its normal spot. And if you're doing a lot of adjustments and it's getting really obnoxious, we now have the wand. Now, if we, okay, I have to like actually be on a surface to do this. Or not? Wand, why aren't you working? That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Z-axis. Because I'm floating and it wouldn't let me do it. And then I can just Click with the wand. Right clicking is positive, left clicking is negative. And I can do that over here. Change it to y-axis. And spin stuff all over the place. This works for heads too. I actually don't have a head on me, do I? Nope. Hold on. Make him turn his head and all that stuff. The wand is really super handy because that way you don't have to keep pausing to look at the book, pausing to look at the book, pausing, and all of that jazz. So I can just position everything nice and easily however I want. I'm going to return all of these to neutral state just for easiness sake. All right, there we go. So, and the pointer wand will do stuff similar to the adjustment wand. We noticed that the pointer wand was over in the pointing area. So that's pretty much what he will do. Will give you the highlight all of its joints, so it's nice and easy. And anything you click on will set it to back to a neutral position if you right click it. And then if you right click it again, it'll point at you. Although it, you notice that it's slightly raised. So this is like quick movement, get it quickly where you want it to go, and then you can do the minor adjustments with the wand, with the other wand, and things like that. And this works for all of this stuff. You can turn the arms on and off. And we can process through all of the presets, which is kind of silly, but fun. So we can do a lot of the stuff that we were doing with the book, but with the with the tools, with the wands, which makes a lot of positioning a lot faster. It'll be a lot faster to work with now. Oh my goodness, look at me. And positioning stuff. I haven't practiced a lot with the wands, so goodness knows I don't really know. Just a second. I wanted to try something. Oh no, my barrels are on fire. Whatever shall I do? I wanted to check how it would position, and it's the stand itself that continues to be on fire, not the item on the stand's head, because we positioned this barrel weird. So that's a nice thing to know. That means that if you place something in the stand's hand, probably like these guys, will end up with the fire like next to it or something. Yeah. Which in itself is kind of interesting. That means you can just place the stands themselves places. And make things on fire via the stand itself. Okay. So we've been at this for a little over half an hour now. Does anybody have any like questions about like anything that I've been doing right now? Anything like that? I have a very messy inventory. Holy crap, hold on. Like, you know, feel free to ask any questions while I clean up my inventory. a lot of weird stuff in here. What the heck was I doing? Okay. Oh, the wands? There's a couple ways to get the wands, but it's actually right here in the book. Get pointer wand. And I already have a pointer wand. Well done. Must have a stick in your... Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay. So you need the base items, which are a stick and a warped fungus on a stick. Once you have those in your inventory, you can just say get it, and it will convert it into the wand. So pose adjust, get adjustment wand, adjustment wand. There we go. There's multiple ways that one can get the book too. Yeah, let's see. You can take a book and quill, fill it with gobbledygook. I don't always do, like, I just like saying stuff. Sign it, statues, capital, sign and close, and it will turn into the book. You can get it from AS help. AS is armor stand. Get the book by clicking here, and it will give you the book. I went up by 1 over there. You can also create a particle shrine. An admin can create a particle shrine, which, when you go to it, will give you the book. Both the get it from help, all of these are ways that configured by the admin of the server. I think particle shrine is a nice way, just because like you can like put it at spawn and people can grab it as they go. Or the book and quill are very convenient ways as well. Book and quill, you kind of have to get to a point where you can make a book and quill, which means getting leather, paper, feather, ink sac, and creating a book and quill before you can do it. So there's several different ways to get the book configurable by the admins, and the wands are available via the book once you have the items that you need for them. There's a little bit of item frame things you can do. We talked about item frames a second here. I want the item frame. No, I don't want the book. I want the... Just give me an item frame. So item frames... We see item frames, and that's silly, used a lot, and you can put things in them, we know, and all sorts of stuff. You can use the book in the same way that you used the armor stands to make them invisible, or if you don't want to have to bother pulling out the book, you can just go trigger IF for item frame invisible, and it will go bloop. You do have to, with either way, you do have to be relatively close to the item frame to be able to do that, within like a block or so. And breaking the item makes the item frame invisible. This does work with glow item frames as well. And the item will continue to glow. I'm not really sure how apparent that is. Truthfully. Like, it might be more apparent at nighttime. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So the glow item frame versus the regular item frame, the item will continue to glow even though the item frame is invisible. That could be handy for like subtle decorations and stuff, especially outside and in caves and stuff like that. I think that's most of the stuff. I'm not gonna like really go over the animation stuff. One, it's not actually talked about in the book itself, and two, it's very likely to not be enabled on server just because it can turn into a bit of a lag issue because it's redstone and animation of the armor stands themselves. So I'm not really going to cover that this time. Maybe if I do another stream, we can like talk about it then at some point, but it's not really a thing that is likely to, on the server that I am currently playing on and doing this stream for, not likely to be used. So I have like 10-ish minutes here. Do you want to do like a cute little scene of something or other? Just to like do a scene. I have an idea. This is one of my favorites. I always do this scene, actually. It's kind of a default thing for me, but I like it, so I'm going to do it. Ha 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 ha. No, that's not what I want. I want tough. Tough's not in here. It's in the other one. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of building, and then we'll do a little scene here. Hey, my goodness. Yes, I really am this spastic in real life when building too. What? Ah. Yeah. Have a good day, Cotton. Okay. Take one of these. I need one of these. And we're going to need some clothes too. And in fact, I'm going to be like extra super fancy, so you're going to have... Oh, that's not what I wanted. That was silly. Super fancy, so let's see. Let's do it. Okay. So this is like my stand making, my like decoration making like process is like weird and stuff. So let's see. I always like to... Actually, I'm going to need a crafting table for this since I don't have the crafting grid in my inventory because of the whole thing. Okay. And That was a lot of frou-frou for a bunch of stuff, right? So let's actually make the stands. We're gonna make some friends sitting around a campfire. Stop putting on my clothes. No, other way around, really. But what kind of head do we want? What kind of head? Let's do me, just because. Okay. That was weird. No, stop putting my own head on. My goodness. Show arms. Apply gravity, no. We do not want that base plate. Okay. So first we're going to hit presets. And we're going to put sitting. And I need to get my butt up on that log. So we need to go up. I said up. That's what I get for pushing the wrong things. All right. Now come to me. All right. Now we need to go down a little bit. We've got a bit of a hover issue there. Not quite that far. Okay. I want to push you forward a little bit. Actually, this is like a lot of it is just like tiny little adjustment doodads. Okay. Now the legs, I want to go down, which is x-axis. So I make sure I'm set x-axis and try not to hit my stuff. Oh my goodness. That was a lot, because I still have my rotation set to really high. Let's move that down to 15. Rude. Okay, you know what? Doing this in creative is going to be a pain. So let's... There we go. This will make it much easier. Rude. Stop putting my head on. There we go. Okay. We're getting back to where we were before we accidentally destroyed the stand. hovering, but come down a little more. So this is a little bit of a problem, is that a lot of times there we go. I need to go forward a little more. Now it looks like I'm kind of hanging off. Okay. So let's come back. Let me give us another up one so I'm not looking into this pedal. Okay. Yeah. Those arms. That's weird. Put your arms down, dude. Okay. Actually, nope. Go. Ah! I jumped in the fire. That's not cool. There we go. And then I want this to come in a little bit. So let's... There we go. There we go. Beautiful. So this is the main statue. Main body statue. Now we're going to do a little additional decoration, because right now I'm just kind of sitting here. So I need to roast a marshmallow, I think. So have a stick. And we need to adjust this. So that the stick points down. That's actually pretty close to the angle I want, really. So we'll just like move you into position now. What the heck? Wrong way. Hey, Voided Main, how you doing? I'm just doing a little armor stand decoration, showing off some armor stand stuff right now. It's a little kind of boring to watch, probably. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm showing it off for a server I'm on. I'm making a little scene. I went through a little bit of tutorial-ness over there, and right now I'm just making a scene to show off like what the actual process looks like. I thought I turned gravity off on you. Did I not turn your gravity off? There we go. Now we need to get you into my hand. Close. Okay, now for finer details, I do need to make you invisible. There we go. That actually looks pretty much... No, let's nudge you like 1 pixel over that way. Let's do that. That's a little better. So we'll lock you. Now. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I really like armor stands are really my like main thing. I mean, I'm an okay builder, I suppose, but my big thing is like decorating with armor statues. Like my builds always look so plain and boring otherwise. We're making a marshmallow. That's a semi-decent marshmallow, but I think think we need a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, that looks good. Don't want it perfectly square. Let's see now. I'm always like jumping around and doing like looking so awful when I'm doing it. Like when I've tried to make time lapses of me doing armor statue stuff, and it's just like I'm like jump all over everything. In order to get stuff lined up. Let's see. That should be good. That's probably a bit too high. And now we move it to the side. We, put the marshmallow on the end of the stick. There we go. And now I need to make the stand invisible so I can get my fine details here. Oh, I need to move over a little bit. Oh, I wanted to go up. And let's see. Tiny itty bitty adjustments. I swear, this is like, I spend most of my day just making tiny little itty bitty adjustments. I'm not going to be able to get that perfectly, am I? That's disappointing to me. Let's see. Hold on. That's much better, right? I mean, like, who's going to be looking that freaking close? Am I right? There we go. There we are. I'm sitting, making roasted marshmallows on the campfire. And it is 10:42 my time, so I should probably get ready to wrap things up here. Maybe next time I'll add a friend for myself here and some other decorations. Well, actually, here. I can go back into creative now. And let's see. Give me one of these and one of these. These are simple ones. Drinks for everyone. And there we go. Not like perfect. Yes, yummy. I would give myself a friend today, but I'm actually getting very close to the time that I need to like go do other things. So maybe I'll do like off screen, and then next time I do the armor stand stream for people, I will add myself a friend. But that's pretty much like what the process looks like. Is like, you know, lots of little adjustments. You start with like if you start with a preset pose and then adjust things slightly, it's nice to, you can get like things look a little more real and more interactive with their environment and stuff like that. And the wand makes the tiny bodily adjustments much easier, so that's nice. So once again, I'm just gonna like pull back here and give everybody a nice overview of what we're doing when making nudging X and Z's, pose adjusting X, Y, Z's, the axes are like the joints, stuff like that. Wandering trades, mini blocks. VanillaTweaks.net for the head data packs, Mookie Tanuki for the book itself. Data packs that you want to go along, that you want with this are armor statues, more mob heads, and player head drops at least. Check out minecraft.heads.com for all sorts of variety of heads. There is a head plugin and or mod that one can get that can give them directly to you, but that seems slightly cheaty when one is on a server. So minecraftheads.com for heads that you can use as skins to get custom heads. Wandering trades to get you viable heads. Please give like Mookie Tanuki a high five for making this book so awesome. If you want to watch other people on YouTube, go watch Zombie Cleo. Zombie Cleo is the best. Oh my god. Her Hermitcraft videos are full of armor stand creations, and everybody on Hermitcraft benefits from Zombie Cleo's artistry. SoulMC and JsyPanther are also really awesome armor stand people on YouTube. JsyPanther has a very simple and easy to understand tutorial going over a lot of the stuff that I already went over. SoulMC has a much more in-depth tutorial with lots of like little details and stuff. You will notice that these look very similar to what she has on her video. So go check those guys out on YouTube for more information about armor stand stuff. Zombie Cleo also, Zombie Cleo Fam Cub for the win. Zombie Cleo also has multiple videos on her YouTube of her Patreon armor stand competitions, and oh my god, they're so freaking awesome. Go check them out. So you want Vanilla Tweaks for a lot of these data packs, and you want Mookie Tanuki's CurseForge for the book itself. Go forth, my friends, and have fun, because this stuff is awesome. And I want to push the S5 one more time. All right. I will see you all later. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. You guys are awesome. And I will see you all later.